Hey friends, this is me Abinash and today we'll be solving a very interesting problem. So the question is basically ways to decode a given encoded message, and this particular question was asked by many big tech companies including Facebook and Amazon. So let's look into the problem. So in this given question we are having an encoded message A, okay, that contains some digits. So we need to find the total number of ways we can decode this particular message, and whatever the answer could be, we need to return it with by finding the modulo of that with 10 raised to 9 plus 7. Okay, cool. So along with it, you can also see there is a map of integer and character. I'll let you know what it is. And for now, let's look into the problem constraint. So according to the problem constraint, the length of the given string can vary from 1 to 10 raised to 5, which means the length or the given input string cannot be empty in any way. Okay, it is a non-empty message. So yeah, so I hope it is pretty clear to you now. So let's look into some examples to understand it in a better way. So let's say the given encoded message is 1, okay? And I'm asked to find out the total number of ways I can decode this message, right? So let me tell you, what does it mean when I say that I am going to decode a message, okay? So for example, this is 1 and I'm asked to decode this message, right? So first of all, to decode a message, I'll find out a sequence and I'll see that, okay, that sequence, if that sequence is basically present in the given map or not. Okay. So as you can see that 1 is basically present in the map, which is actually mapped to A. So A is one of the decoded messages. Okay. And can there be any more possibility for decoding the given string 1? No. Why? Because this is 1, okay, and that particular 1 is only mapped to A. So this is how I can say that, okay, there is only one way to decode this particular message. Correct? Now let's say the message is 12. Okay, so I'm here to decode this particular message. So let's say that in the first time, let me consider the first character, okay, which is nothing but 1. So can 1 be decoded? Yes, because it is actually present in the given map, right? And the it is actually mapped to A. So this is one of the possibility to decode this particular message. But what about 12 itself? So if I'll consider 12 itself, then it is also mapped to some value, which is basically L, right? So in this way, I can say that, okay, the message is basically decoded. Message can be decoded in two ways. And so this is it, right? So the answer for this is 2. So now let's look into some another example, some other example. Let's say the example is 226, right? So in this example, let's decode it. Okay. So in the first possibility, I can decode 2. Okay. I can simply take this particular character and decode it because it is actually present in the given map. In the same way, in the same format, I can also decode 22 as well, right? Why? Because 22 is also, possible to be decoded. Why? Because 22 is nothing but V and this is B. Okay. And in the same fashion, I can also decode 26. It is basically mapped to Z. So this is one of the, decoded messages. So tell me, can I take 226? No. Why? Because it is exceeding the limit. The limit is basically from 1 to 26, and any sequence which I would consider must be lie in this particular range. Okay. Then only I can say that okay, this particular sequence can be decoded, and that is a valid possibility. Okay. So I hope it is pretty clear. Now let's take one more example very similar to this. So let's say the example is 272, let's say. Okay. So in this example, one of the possible way to decode it is just decode the first character, which is 2. So now tell me, can I consider 27? No, it is basically exceeding the limit, right? In the same way, 72 is also exceeding the limit, and 272 is no chance, right? It is already bigger because it is 3-digit character. So in this example, guys, it is very much sure, it is very much clear that we only can take the digit of on length 1 or length 2, okay, but greater than or equal to length 3 cannot be taken, because if I take greater than or equal to 3 length a number, then it will force your exceed the limit of this particular map, right? Because the map limit is from 1 to 26, and greater than 3 is not be possible. So let's forget it. Okay, so now let's focus on these two things. That let's say I would consider the digit of length 1. So which digits can be come in this particular range? So 0 to 9 can come, right? So as 0 to 9 can come, so as you can see that which values are basically lying in the range from 1 to 26, only from 1 to 9, right? In this range also, the the two sub ranges I can divide, 0 and 1 to 9. And as you can see, 1 to 9 is a valid range, because it is actually lying in this particular original range, okay, the valid range, which I would say. But 0 is not lying in it, right? But 0 is also possible. Why? Because it is also one digit character, and it can be present in the given input string. So we need to take care of that any subsequence, let's say the sequence is 1012 something something something, right? In this way, so any subsequence which basically starts with this particular 0, okay, any subsequence begin with this particular 0 cannot be taken. Why? Because any number starts from 0 is not a valid number, right? There is nothing uh, like this is not a number, this is not a valid number. So this cannot be decoded as well, right? So this is how it is, and I think it is pretty clear to you now. Now let's say the 2-digit number, right? So 2-digit number, I think the case for 1 digit is pretty clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can simply go on and comment in the comment section. We'll see it later. So now let's talk about 2-digit numbers, right? In 2-digit numbers, we have the numbers from 10 to 99, okay. But here as well, as you can see, if I would go on and divide the range into two sub ranges, then the ranges will be from 10 to 26, and from 26 to 99, right? 26 to 99. Why actually I am dividing these two ranges? Because just to show that which range is basically lying in the original parent range or the valid range, okay. So this is the range from 10 to 26. This is basically a valid range. Why? Because it is actually coming in the original valid range. But okay, 27 to 99, I'm sorry. So, but 27 to 99 is the range which is actually containing the 2-digit pairs are not actually valid, because it is exceeding the limit, okay. So we need to take care of those things. So I think it is pretty clear to you that what actually I'm trying to convey. So okay, so let's solve it, and we'll see if any further requirements will be needed. We'll discuss it later. So let's say, okay, one of the case that I would like to enlighten, that the input string cannot be empty, right? As you can see right here in the problem constraint, the input string cannot be empty. So we do not need to take care of that explicitly. Let's say the function, okay, the function is ways which is responsible to find out the total number of possibility, total number of ways we can decode the message, and will pass the given string and index 0. So index 0 is denoting that we will start traversing from this particular index, correct? So let's say the ways, and so guys, I'll pass the reference of the string because yeah. So I'll pass the reference of the string because you know basically this will be a recursive function, and in every state the argument will be get copied. Okay, in every state, note that the argument will be get copied, and this may lead to the memory limit exceeded. So to avoid this kind of things, we need to pass the reference, and whenever we'll pass the reference, the argument will not get copied in any way. It will just pass. Okay, the same argument will be coming to will be assigned to all of the states. It will not get copied. So this is why I just have written right like this. And as this is the recursive call, we need to handle the best case right here. So let me tell you guys, let's say this is the string that I'm given, and I was just asked to to find out number of ways to decode it. So tell me, let's say I just have considered the one, okay, only single character in the first time, and I just have decoded this message that okay, one is nothing but a. So can I can I declare that okay, the entire string has been decoded? No, unless I traverse the entire string, I cannot declare that okay, the entire string has been decoded. Okay, so I have to traverse the entire string. So for that to happen, I need to write, okay, if I is basically equal to str.size, that means the entire string has already been traversed. So this is one way to decode it. So that means that, if I just have reached till the end, so that means I just have found one possible way to decode it. Okay, so as I have already talked about that, if in any part, if any way, I just have encountered 0 as the beginning of a sequence, that means that particular number in including the 0 is as the beginning character cannot be considered. So that is why we will simply go on and return 0 right here, because it will not be get considered. Okay, it will not get considered. And okay, so here we go. So now actually this is the original recursive call I'm going to make. So before that, I would like to let you know one thing. So let's try to find the total number of ways for this example and this example. Okay, so if this is the case, then how will I write the recursive calls? Okay, how will I make the recursive calls? So let's say this is ways, okay, W, and okay. So right here, as I have already told you that in the first case, I'll consider 1-digit character. Okay. And in the second case, I'll consider 2-digit character. Are you getting me? So in the both ways, I have to make two different calls. So if I had considered the first digit character, then basically I'm considering 2, right? So 2 is nothing but B. Okay. So basically I'm now, as I have considered 2, I have to call for rest of the string, which is nothing but 26. Okay. Now I have to look for the two pairs or two digits, the first two digits, which is nothing but 22. So if I would consider 22, then I have to call for the rest of the string, which is 6. Why actually I am, why actually I am calling for rest of the string? Because the 2-digit number is valid. Okay. So this is why. And as these two are the different possibility for getting the total number of ways, so I have to add them. Okay. Clear? So now let's look into the, and it will go further and propagate all the possibilities by itself. I'll not it will be get uh, you know done. So now let's look into the this particular example, that how the recursive calls I can make upon it. So let's say this is the case. So in the first case, I'll consider the first character, which is actually valid, which is 2. So here I'll call for 76. But in this case, when we consider two-digit number, it is not valid. Why? Because 27 is basically exceeding the limit, right? So this particular case will not be, written. Okay. So as you can see that in the both case, this particular case has been written. Okay. But this is optional. Okay. This will only be written only if the first two character, first two digit number is a valid number. Okay. So I hope it is pretty clear to you. So what I can do instead is the first case is written for both of the valid and invalid string. So I have to let's say store the result in store the result by by considering the first case. And if I just consider the first case, that means I just have considered the first character. So I have to call for the rest of the string, right? And now this let me write it so that it would be very easy for you to understand. This is the first case. Okay, here I'm considering the first character, right? So let me copy this. So this is nothing but the second case and considering the first two characters. Okay, collectively. Okay, so right here, what I'll check if I is lesser than the, I mean, there must at least two characters left, right? Then only I can check the first two characters, right? uh, okay. And if the string is basically, let's say, starts from 1, so that means it is okay. If the string starts from 1, then the possibility of having the second character is from 0 to 9. So that means in the worst case I can get at most 19, which is also valid, right? But what if the character is basically starting from 2? If the character is starting from 2, then if the first character is basically starting from 2, so the possibility of getting the second character is from 0 to 9. So in the worst case it may be 29, which is basically exceeding the limit. Okay, so I'll check if the second character must be lesser than or equal to 6, then only it will be valid. Okay, so as I got the result for this particular case, then as this particular case is optional, and this can only be considered only if the first two character collectively is a valid valid way to valid string. And when I can call something a valid, only if that is actually present in the given map. Clear? All right, so what I can do is I can add up the result to the ways when I actually considered that the first two character is valid. So I have to call for I plus 2. That means as I have considered first two character, then I have to call from I plus 2 index to the end. Are you getting me? So after doing this, I'm sorry, after doing this, I have to return the result, and this is it, guys, right? But one more thing you must note here, that we need to return the output by finding out the modulo of it with 10 raised to 9 plus 7. Okay, finding the modulo is not a big deal. So let's say mod 10 raised to 9 plus 7. Okay, and what we have to do right here is every time we find the result, let's find out the modulo of it with mod. And here let's find the mod. Correct. So this is it. Let's test it out. And let me tell you that this is the very brute force way to look at this particular problem, because it is completely exponential problem, right? So it may not work. Let's submit it to see. It is a 2 raised to n solution. Yeah, it is partially correct. Why? Because it is TLE. It is giving me TLE. Why? Because there are many overlapping subproblems. Let me tell you. So in this case, we have to use dynamic programming right here. So let me, bring up a array of one-dimensional array of size, the string size plus 1. and let me fill it with -1, which tells that okay, this particular state has not yet explored. Okay, so in the first case, we just have calculated the result for any such case, and we just have returned it. But before returning it, let me store the result for result of this particular I. Okay, result for this particular state in my DP, and whenever I see that the DP's I is not -1, so that means what? That means it has already been solved. Okay, so instead solving it over and over the same task, so let me use the memoized result. Okay, so that it can be very easier or faster way to solve this particular problem, right? So guys, I think it is pretty much clear to you now, so let's test it out. Okay, it will not work because I just have to pass the DP right here. Okay, and let me write the DP right here as well, and right here as well. Okay, and right here as well. I think it is pretty much done. Okay, so let's submit it. It must work because yeah, so it got accepted, just 1 mark less than the maximum mark, but doesn't matter. So guys, this is the solution. I hope you enjoyed the video and you have enjoyed the complete logic behind it, that how we can decode a encoded message. So guys, thank you so much for watching this particular video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and please let me know if you have any such doubt with this question, because it's a very interesting and very important question as well in terms of interview technical interview point of view. So thank you guys, thank you for watching. Thanks.